Welcome to another college basketball live stream. As tonight, we will have the last undefeated team in the country, the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio, taking on the Minutemen of UMass. Preview this game in just a moment. First of all, let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for looking upon us, Lord. And please look over these players. Keep everyone safe tonight, players, trainers, fans. Please continue to look over us and keep us safe and do your will among us, Lord, as we ask and pray this in your name. Amen. All right, Miami of Ohio and UMass. Miami of Ohio coming in 25-0 on the season. They are the last remaining undefeated team in college basketball. These two teams met exactly 3 weeks ago in Oxford, and Miami of Ohio came out with an 86-84 victory in a hard-fought contest. UMass looking to return the favor and knock Miami of Ohio from the ranks of the undefeated teams. UMass coming in on the season, 15-11 overall, 6-7 in the MAC. So this should be a good one tonight as UMass hoping to knock off the Redhawks. This is a Redhawks team that is just a very, very powerful offense. They score well over 90 points a game. It was 86-84 in the prior meeting this season between these two teams. UMass, meanwhile, on the other hand, scores at 81 a game. They both give up about the same amount of points. Miami just over 74, UMass just shy of 77. Just a second. Had to turn the television down when I do these live streams because that back noise would be a little distracting. So that's why I try to make sure the volume's down. Let's go ahead and look at tonight's starting lineups for both these teams. We will start with the undefeated Redhawks of Miami of Ohio. Again, 25-0 on the season. They line up this way. Up front, at forward, number 0, Ian Elmer. Elmer, a 6'6 junior out of Covington, Kentucky. Elmer on the season is fourth on the team in scoring, averaging just shy of 12 points a game at 11.9 per contest. Another forward for Miami, number 13, Antoine Woolfolk. Woolfolk, a 6'9 senior out of Cleveland. Woolfolk on the season averaging at 10.2 points per contest. This is a Miami team that has 6 players averaging double figures. The other forward is number 22, Brant Byers. Byers, a 6'8 sophomore out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Brent Byers, team's leading scorer at 15 points per contest. In the backcourt for UMass, number 3, Luke Skaljak. Skaljak is a 6'2 sophomore out of Brecksville, Ohio. Skaljak on the season averages just shy of 10 points per contest at 9.8. And the other guard for the Redhawks, number 5, Peter Suter. Suter, a 6'5 senior out of Carmel, Indiana. Suter, the team's second leading scorer at 14.5 points per contest. Redhawks are coached by Travis Steele. Here's the lineup for the Minutemen of UMass. 15-11 on the season. 6-7 in MAC play. They line up this way at one forward, number 1, Daniel Hankin Sanford. A 6'8 senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hankin Sanford averaging 11.7 points per contest for this UMass team. Another forward is number 3, Leonardo Bettiol. 6'9 senior out of Italy. He is the team's leading scorer at 17.6 per contest. 3 guards for UMass. At one guard, number 0, Danny Carbuccia. Carbuccia on the season, a 5'11 freshman, just a freshman, out of White Plains, New York on the season. Carbuccia on the season averaging just shy of 6 points a contest at 5.9. Another guard for UMass, number 11, Jaden Njigwe. I hope I got that pronunciation right. Njigwe, a 6'4 junior out of Ayer, Massachusetts. On the season, he is averaging 6.8 points per contest. And the other guard for UMass, number 24, Marcus Banks Jr., a 6'3 senior out of Hampton, Virginia. Banks, the second leading scorer on this UMass team at 16.9 per contest. UMass is coached by Frank Martin. Frank Martin had previous stints at Kansas State and South Carolina, now at the helm of UMass. So again, the Redhawks go with Elmer, Woolfolk, Byers, Scaljak, and Suter with the starting five. UMass has Hankin Sanford, Betiol, Carbuccia, Njigwe, and Banks, the starting five for UMass. Officiating crew tonight, assigned by the Mid-American Conference, Nate Harris, Jeff Spadowski, and Kevin Raher. So here we go. Just about set for the tip in Amherst. Can Miami stay undefeated? Following this game, they will have 5 games remaining. Miami, of course, obviously leading the MAC. They have a 1-game lead over Akron. Miami defeated Akron in their one and only meeting this season. If they meet again, it would be in the MAC tournament. UMass coming in 7th place in the MAC with a 6-7 record in conference play. 86-84 was the score in the earlier meeting in Oxford. Miami got the win. I had the live stream of that game 3 weeks ago tonight. That was a hotly contested game all night long. A very game UMass team, but they came up 2 points short. And now look to return the favor and knock the Redhawks from the undefeateds. We'll keep you updated on the rest of the top 25 scoreboard as the night goes on. Number 1, Michigan in action in West Lafayette against Purdue tonight. Michigan up 30-18 in that game in the first half. So Travis Steele and Frank Martin, the coaching matchup, both coaches in their 4th seasons with their respective teams. And we are just about set. I do want to point out the live score that I keep on the screen. My feed's a little bit behind, so I do know that on my ESPN app has that delay. I apologize in advance for that. Miami controls the opening tip, and we are underway. And an open three-pointer is long on the first shot of the game, but Miami will pull down the rebound, but then turn it over. UMass comes out with it, and now the Minutemen will have their first possession, and a 3 is short. And the rebound pulled down by the Redhawks by Brant Byers. So both teams empty on their first possessions. Scaljak with it on the outside, gives it off. And a great pass inside, and the game's first 2 points of the night belong to Miami. And it's 2-0. On the outside for UMass is Njigwe. Njigwe off now to Betiol. Lost the dribble momentarily, but Carbuccia regroups. Carbuccia off now to Hankin Sanford. Hankin Sanford drives in the paint, puts it up with the left hand and scores, and UMass has their first 2, and this game is all tied up at 2 apiece. Suter brings it up the floor for Miami. Scaljak kicks it outside to Woolfolk. Woolfolk off now to Elmer. Back inside to Woolfolk. Woolfolk spins in the paint, has no shot, kicks it back outside, a near turnover. Suter tries a three, banked, no good, but we have a foul. This is going to be on UMass, the first foul of the game, and this is, I believe, in the act of shooting, and if it is, it's going to be 3 shots. Foul is on Njigwe of UMass. That's his first, and it is indeed a 3-shot foul, as Suter will head to the line. First free throw up and good for Suter. Peter Suter, a 75% free throw shooter on the season. Second one is also good. One more coming. And Suter hits all 3, and the Redhawks lead 5-2. Bringing it up the floor is UMass. And a great pass inside, and we're going to have a foul, the first foul of the game on the Redhawks. This one's going to go against Byers on a hold underneath. That'll be his first. And UMass will inbound. A minute 45 into this first half. UMass inbounds under the basket, and it comes to Hankin Sanford. Hankin Sanford, and here's a three-pointer that is too strong, and the Redhawks tip it out and get the rebound. Suter lost it momentarily, but kicks it back out to Elmer for a 3. That is well short. Rebound pulled down by Banks of UMass. And back come the Minutemen. Here's Banks. Guarded well on the outside by Woolfolk. Woolfolk knocks it away, but Banks recovers. Bounce pass inside to Bettiol. Bettiol the turn with the right hand hook, and it is good. Leonardo Bettiol on the scoreboard makes it a 5-4 contest. 2.5 minutes in. Redhawks the other way. This is Elmer. Elmer drawing a double team, kicking it outside. And the off-balance jumper up and good. Jumper there for Peter Suter. He's got 5 in the early going, and it's a 7-4 lead for the Redhawks. And we are going to have a foul. This is going to go the other way. So an offensive foul. It's like a moving screen on UMass. Redhawks bring it up the floor. And here comes another three-pointer, and that is good. Luke Skaljak with the 3 and a 10-4 start for Miami. And we've got a hold underneath on the Redhawks. This will be their second foul. Bettiol was held underneath the basket. Foul is going to be on Skaljak. That'll be his first. And it'll be a under the basket inbound for UMass. Banks with it. Banks the pass to Bettiol. Back outside now to Njigwe. Over for a three-pointer. That is short from Hankin Sanford. Rebound pulled down by Miami. And here come the Redhawks. Suter has an open 3, and he drills it. Peter Suter with a 8-point start. And it is 13-4 Redhawks out of the gate. Banks. Banks gets inside. Turnaround jumper is good. That was a tough turnaround for Marcus Banks. That'll get him on the board, and it's 13-6. 4 minutes into this first half. Skaljak shot underneath. I think that was deflected. And back comes UMass the other way. Karbusha. Karbusha on the drive. And that's going to be a charge on Karbusha. That'll be his first. And that will bring us to our first timeout at the 15:54 mark. Good start for the undefeated Redhawks. It is 13-6. 15:54 mark of the first half. Keeping you updated on those other top 25 games. The new top-ranked team in the country, Michigan, at number 7, Purdue, and Michigan has jumped out to a 20-point lead with 4:17 remaining in the first half in West Lafayette. So Michigan showing every bit of being a number 1 team so far as they are crushing Purdue in the first half in West Lafayette. In that top 7 matchup. Florida an early 10-6 lead over South Carolina. Number 13, Texas Tech, has a late night start tonight out west. They are at Arizona State. Rivalry game for the Tar Heels tonight. They're on the road at NC State. That game just underway. NC State has an early 9-6 lead. '18th ranked Billikens on the road tonight in the A-10 at Rhode Island. 11-10 game early in that one. But here, a good start for the Redhawks as they lead this game early on. Early shooting 4 for 6 start for Miami. This is only the 4th all-time meeting between the two teams, 2nd this season. Of course, this UMass's first year in the MAC as the Redhawks bring it up the floor out of the timeout. Suter with it. Suter puts it up with the right hand. That comes up short. And the rebound pulled down by UMass, Leonardo Bettiol. And a bounce pass underneath and thrown out of bounds. And a turnover. That's already the 3rd turnover for UMass. It looked like Njigwe slipped underneath the basket there with the passes going to him. Redhawks bring it up here as Trey Perry, who just checked in at the timeout, has the ball. Perry on the outside. Great pass inside, but a block. And back comes UMass the other way. KJ Parker, who checked in for UMass, has it now on the outside. Parker now drives inside. Nice bounce pass. And off the glass, no. Off of the hands of Hankin Sanford. And back comes Miami. Perry off. And the shot underneath is no good. And rebound pulled down by UMass. So the scoring has slowed here a little bit. Great feed there underneath. And an easy layup for Daniel Hankin Sanford. And it makes it 13-8. Perry finds Atlason, who also checked in at the timeout for the Redhawks. Now outside to Suter. Suter looking for help. Cross-court pass. A three-pointer in the corner is good in front of the UMass bench. That's Justin Kirby hitting the three-pointer, and the UMass lead is 8 at 16-8. Bettiol with it. And that pass knocked away. UMass keeps it. And Banks tries a three. That is good for Marcus Banks. He's got 5, and the lead is 5 at 16-11. Marcus Banks shoots nearly 40% from three-point range. At the other end, a three is good. Trey Perry with the 3 for Miami with the answer to push the lead back to 8 at 19-11. Bettiol with it, draws a double team underneath, still goes up with it strong and scores. Leonardo Bettiol over a double team. He's got 4 points. 19-13. And a reach-in foul on UMass. That's going to be number 2 on Jaden Njigwe. So Njigwe in early foul trouble with 2 fouls. Frank Martin not liking that foul call as he is discussing things with one of the officials. Fourth team foul of the half on UMass as the Redhawks bring it in. Perry with it on the outside. Perry looking to drive. Perry gets cut off, sends it outside now to Woolfolk. And now Atlason on the outside. 10 to shoot for the Redhawks. Atlason off to Perry. Got to put something up here with 3 to shoot. Perry drives over a double team. Shot it too strong. Good defensive stand that time for UMass, and back the other way they come. Banks on the drive. Banks off the glass too hard. Rebound pulled down by Miami, and here comes Ian Elmer across the midcourt stripe. And knocked out of bounds by UMass. It will stay with the Redhawks. 12:46 to play in the opening half. Skaljak checks back in the lineup for Miami. And it comes inbounds to him. Skaljak out near the UMass logo at midcourt. Now kicks it off. Atlason a top of the key three-pointer, and that is good. Miami 5 for their first 7 from beyond the arc. And it's 22-13. Redhawks by 9. It ties their largest lead of the game so far. And now a turnover as Woolfolk stepped in the passing lane to steal the pass. And then UMass will knock it out of bounds. It will stay with Miami. So turnover bug biting UMass a bit early in this game as they have 4 turnovers in less than 8 minutes. Inbound pass under the basket and turnover as Kirby lost it out of bounds. He thought he was fouled, but the officials say no, and the ball went out of bounds off Kirby. It will go to UMass. And they showed the replay. Yeah, that did look like Kirby just lost it. So here comes UMass up the floor. And there's another UMass turnover. Their 5th. Skaljak lost the dribble momentarily, but regroups, and the Redhawks reset. Elmer on the outside. Elmer off to Woolfolk. Woolfolk. Atlason tries a 3. That's short this time. Rebound pulled down by UMass. And back the other way come the Minutemen. Here's Karbusha. Karbusha lost it momentarily. He's able to recover. Now on the outside, back out to Karbusha. 10 to shoot for UMass. Karbusha looking to drive. Now gets free for a 3-pointer and drills it. Danny Karbusha with a 3. And that makes it 22-16. UMass is 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Skaljak with it on the outside for the Redhawks. Finds Woolfolk. Back to Skaljak. Skaljak dribbling now behind the back and having it knocked out of bounds. It will stay Miami ball as we hit the under 12 timeout with 11:03 to play in the first half. Redhawks up 6, 22-16 on the road against UMass. Keep you updated on other games from the Mid-American Conference tonight as well. Michigan still up 20 on Purdue, just about a minute to go in the first half. So a thumping for the number 1 team in the country so far. There is still to have a second half. Florida's taken an 8-point lead on South Carolina in the first half. But in this game, Miami early 7 of 14 shooting for 50%. UMass 7 of 12 for 58%. But Miami 5 of 8 from beyond the arc for 63%. UMass is 2 for 4. But 5 early turnovers for UMass. They've had a few of those here early. That's something you cannot do against this undefeated Miami squad. Other games from the top 25. NC State has an early 8-point lead over their state rivals from North Carolina. That's 19-11 in the first half. Pretty good crowd on hand on a Tuesday night at the Mullins Center in Amherst. So out of the timeout here. Will be Redhawks ball under the basket. And right off the inbound, a corner three is off the mark. Rebound pulled down by UMass. Carbuccia brings it up across the midcourt stripe. Gives it off to KJ Parker. Foul line jumper is up and good. KJ Parker in the scoring column with his first 2. And UMass is within 4 at 22-18. And this is going to be a foul on UMass. This is going to go against Carbuccia. So that's his second foul. So Carbuccia joins in Jigway with 2 fouls apiece. That's team foul number 5 on UMass. Suter kicks it outside. A corner three-pointer off the back rim. That's no good. Miami all of a sudden has gone cold from the outside. And back come the Minutemen. Carbuccia. Now KJ Parker. That's KJ Parker. I'm sorry, Carbuccia went to the bench. Marcus Banks with it. And now a nice bounce pass, knocked out of bounds, though, by Miami. It will stay UMass ball with 9 on the shot clock. Leonardo Bettiol returns back in the lineup for UMass. Off the inbound into Wembley. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bettiol with it. They're going to put up a shot here. Bettiol trying to back his way in. Gets it off just before the shot clock buzzer and missed it off the front rim. And a rebound pulled down by the Redhawks. And the foul line jumper up and good. Luke Skaljak now with his second field goal. He's got 5. 24-18. Banks with it on the outside for UMass. Thought about the 3, decided against it. Now drives inside. Puts it up with the right hand and has it blocked. Skaljak with it. Off to Peter Suter. Back outside to Skaljak. Skaljak guarded by Banks. Skaljak, top of the key three-pointer. That's off the rim. Miami's missed their last 4 from the outside. Back come the Minutemen on the rebound. KJ Parker. Parker on the drive. Now we'll pull up from the foul line. Missed it too strong. Rebound tipped out to Parker. And a fresh 20 for UMass. As we go under 9 minutes here in the first half, Banks misses a 3. And this time, Woolfolk able to pull down the board for Miami. Woolfolk with it on the outside. Bounce pass now to Byers. Byers off to Suter, and the Redhawks will slow it down. Nice pass inside from Scoutjack to Suter, and he'll get the layup. Suter with 10 points. And it's 26-18 for the Redhawks. Parker over to Hankin Sanford, who's back in the lineup. Hankin Sanford drives and slams it down. Hankin Sanford got inside and went in with a monster dunk. He's got 6, 26-20. At the other end, a nice pass there, and Miami will answer underneath as Ian Elmer gets the nice feed for his first 2 points. 28-20. And another nice pass, and now the team's going to the inside game, and the shot goes in there for Bettiol. He's got 6. The lead for Miami is 6 as we're under 7.5 to play in a fast-moving first half. Suter kicks it outside to Scaljak. Scaljak bounce pass inside. Shot clock at 10. Woolfolk out to Elmer for 3. That's off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound to UMass. Parker with it on the outside. Parker will try a 3. That's short. Rebound pulled down by the Minutemen, and we are going to have a foul, it looks like, on Miami. And that will bring us to the under 7 with 6:50 to play in the first half. Minutemen hanging around here. They're down 6, 28-22. They have reached the half in West Lafayette. Top-ranked team in the country, Michigan, up 48-32 on Purdue. NC State up 25-12 on number 16 North Carolina. North Carolina, a team I have not been able to figure out this year. They have that big win over Duke, but then they fall on their face against Miami, and they're down here to their rivals. Johnny King in the chat. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. 28-22. Redhawks over the Minutemen here. Redhawks, of course, as the only undefeated team left in the country, have that big bullseye on their back. Miami's been blowing out a lot of people this year, but they've also had their share of nail biters. So they're winning in different ways. UMass ball out of the timeout. There was no foul on that play right before the timeout. It was just an out of bounds. KJ Parker with it. Parker will back it out near the midcourt stripe. 3 to shoot for UMass. They're going to get an open 3 look. It's too strong. Boy, Miami dodged a bullet there as Njigwe was wide open on that 3-pointer, but he missed it long. Redhawks the other way to slow it down and run the offense. Suter. Suter now looking to drive, and will bounce pass it inside. Shot clock down to 5, and we're going to have a push foul. I think they're going to get Wembley on that foul. That'll be his first. Team foul number 6 on UMass. I appreciate the kind words, Johnny. Up doing my best. Any injuries on either team? Well, I'll get to that here in just a second. Inbound here to the Redhawks. Corner three-pointer on the way. That's not a good shot, as that was well covered, and it's going to go out of bounds to UMass. So Miami's missed their last 6 from the outside. I don't, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure on the injuries, but I know this is about the 5th or 6th Miami stream I've done all year. Evan Ipsaro played early in the season, but he has only played 12 games. So I'm assuming something must have happened there. So if there's any Miami fans in the chat that can give me on Evan Ipsaro, since he's only played 12 games, I'm assuming there must be some kind of injury there. Nice look inside, but a bomb-blown layup underneath. A point-blank layup missed. UMass gets the rebound and hits a 3 in front of the Miami bench. And it's down to a 3-point game. And Atlason gets loose underneath the basket for 2 for Miami. And that makes it 30-25. As we near 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Placide, who just hit that three-pointer, the last possession for UMass with it now. Here's Betiol driving inside, reverse layup, a little too strong. Rebound pulled down by Miami. And a strip at the other end. But we're going to get a foul called on UMass, and that'll be the 7th team foul. So this will be a 1-and-1 for Miami. First free throw up and good. Trey Perry at the line. Perry hits them both. He's got 5 points, and the Miami lead back to 7, 32-25. Betiol. The outside now to Placide, back to Betiol at the foul line. He will drive inside, put it up with the right hand. It rolled off. And the rebound pulled down by the Redhawks. Under 4.5 to go here in the half as Suter brings it up across the midcourt stripe over to Byers. Byers, a bad pass inside, taken away by UMass. Betiol on the steal, Banks off to Placide. Three-pointer is good again. His second 3 and hits it again in front of the Miami bench. 32-28. At the other end, a layup is good. And that pushes the lead back to 6, 34-28. Placide free again and hits another one from long range. Boy, he has the hot hand all of a sudden from outside for UMass. 34-31, lead down to 3. Trey Perry off to Byers. A deep three-pointer is good. Brant Byers, that was from way back there. 37-31. It's become a three-point contest all of a sudden. And now UMass will slow it down this possession as KJ Parker dribbles it just across the midcourt stripe. Now over to Hankins Sanford. Back on the outside is Banks. Now Banks will drive inside the paint, shoot it too strong. Rebound to Atlason. 3 to go here in a very, very fast-moving first half. Here comes another three-pointer for Miami. That's a little too short. Rebound pulled down by Betiol of UMass. Parker walks it up the floor. We will have the under 4 timeout at the next whistle. Betiol. And over here's Placide again! His 4th 3 of the half. He's got 12, 37-34. Miami might want to think about putting a man on him out there. At the other end, a three-pointer in the corner. That's short. Rebound UMass. They can tie this thing with a 3. Placide goes up and is fouled on a 3-point attempt. He will have 3 free throws on the other side of the timeout. 2:14 to go in the half. We've got a 3-point ball game, and UMass will be at the line for 3 free throws on the other side of the timeout. Boy, Isaiah Placide off the bench here for UMass has 4 3-pointers, and he's going to be at the line when we come out of the timeout. Now I got a UMass fan in the live chat, looks like. Rizzy Vivid screen name. Hanging in here in the first half. They got a chance to tie this game at the free throw line when we come out of the timeout. Coming up at halftime, we'll run down the college basketball scoreboard, bring you the latest news from around the sports world, run down the updated medal count out at the Winter Olympics in Italy, down to the final 5 days of competition out there. And if there's time at the half, going to want to show the latest bracketology update. As we've got a good one here in the first half. This is only a 2-point game in the earlier meeting this season in Oxford. It was an 86-84 win for Miami. That was exactly 3 weeks ago tonight. So here's Placide going to the line for 3 free throws. I just saw the latest post in the live chat. That's actually quite funny. 2:14 to go, and Placide at the line. First free throw is no good. Second of 2, that one is good. One more coming. This can cut it to a 1-point game. Short. So Placide only hits one of the 3 free throws. So it's 37-35. Miami's lead is 2. As we hit the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Skaljack on the outside gives it off to Woolfolk. Woolfolk off for a 3-pointer. That's off the rim and out, but an offensive rebound for the Redhawks. And a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Suter on the outside. This is Byers. Byers drives. Byers gets cut off. Almost turns it over. Skaljack there to get to the loose ball. And now Suter against Placide, the turnaround jumper. That's short. Good defense by UMass. And back come the Minutemen the other way. They can tie or take the lead with a three. Pass inside is too high and a turnover. And back come the Redhawks. Byers puts it up and hits fouled. Foul is going to be on Luka Demjanic. That's his first. And 2 free throws coming for Miami. Clock stopped at 1:12 here in the first half. Brent Byers shooting 2. First one up and good. Byers has one more. And he'll get the bounce on the second. It's his 5th point. 39-35. Miami's lead is 4. As KJ Parker brings it across the midcourt stripe. Final minute, first half. And we've got a turnover and then a foul on UMass following the turnover. That's going to be on KJ Parker. That'll be his second. So he becomes the 3rd UMass player with 2 fouls here in the first half. That is the 9th team foul, so this will be the last 1-and-1. Elmer at the free throw line. And hits the front end of the 1-and-1. Second free throw is also good. And Miami pushes the lead back to 6. Here come the Minutemen. Here's Parker. Stays in the game with the 2 personal fouls. Off to Betiol. Betiol spins inside and gets fouled. Miami has a couple fouls to give here, as that's only the 5th team foul. And UMass will inbound with 49.3. Banks to inbound from under the basket. Gets it into Parker. Parker out on the arc. Now will drive inside. Gets cut off in the paint. Bounce pass inside into traffic and taken away. That was a dangerous pass in there into a lot of traffic, and Miami gets the steal. It's about a 10-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Skowjak dribbling just across the midcourt stripe. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Skowjak will now drive. Skowjak, the leaner in the paint, is short. Rebound UMass down to 12 seconds. And they can get the final shot of the half here. Here's Banks. Banks pulls up for 3, around and out. Offensive rebound and a foul with 4.6 to go here in the first half. So UMass with a couple free throws here to end the first half. Second foul on Woolfolk. And Betiol is heading to the line for 2. First of 2 up and no good. So UMass not helping themselves at the free throw line, just 1 for their first 4. Betiol's second on the way. Got that one. 41-36. Miami with the last crack here with 4.6. Redhawks bring it up the floor. And Skaljack stepped out of bounds as he was bringing the ball up the floor. So it'll be UMass ball, and they're going to inbound at half court. So a mistake there by the Redhawks. And now UMass will get a last-second chance. I am Jesus. Need Miami to win -1.5. Is that for the game -1.5? Or is that the first half 1.5? So 2.9 on the clock. UMass is using their use it or lose it first half timeout. That's the game -1.5. Well, good luck to you on that. I think the line took off. I believe at tip-off it was 3.5, I think was the line. Got 400 smackers on it, huh? Well, good luck. So here will be an inbound from Banks. UMass can get a shot off here. There's plenty of time, 2.9 seconds. And now Miami will use their use it or lose it first half timeout. They saw what UMass was going to run. So now they'll take their timeout. Darren Gathers 2-3-8 and -1.5 Miami first half. Well, that's going to be a lock unless by chance there's a foul and a three-pointer made. So that -1.5 in the first half is going to lock is a lock. So here we go, 2.9. Banks to inbound from half court. Actually, from quarter court. Banks gets it in. And here's the hot hitting Placide. Misses a three. As the first half comes to a close, as Miami is in front at halftime, 41-36 over UMass in a very entertaining first half. UMass got it as close to 2, but Miami led all the way throughout the first half and leads by 5 here at intermission, 41-36. So an exciting second half upcoming between these two teams in Amherst. So here at the half, let's run down the top 25 scoreboard. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and run down the top 25 scoreboard. I was going to run down the new top 25 poll that came out yesterday, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do that with everything else I want to do at the half. So let's just run down the top 25 scoreboard. Michigan, the new number 1 team in the country, they're leading Purdue, ranked the 7th ranked Purdue Boilermakers, 56-42. That is a second half score. Number 12, Florida and South Carolina in Gainesville. Florida up 37-29. That is in the late stages of the first half. The defending national champions. They had a bit of a slow start this year, but they're starting to look like the national champion Florida Gators team of last year here over the last month or so. And they're up 8 over South Carolina approaching halftime. Number 16, North Carolina, who I think has been the most inconsistent top 25 team all year long. And they're proving that once again tonight. They are at NC State. I know it's a rivalry game, But North Carolina in the first half has been held to 20 points. They trail NC State late in the first half, 35-20 in Raleigh. Number 18, St. Louis, who is currently on that long winning streak, they're in a little bit of trouble tonight and at Rhode Island. Rhode Island leads at 38-33. Minute and a half to play in the first half in that one. Number 21, Louisville on the road at SMU in an absolute shootout. SMU at the half leading 52-49 over the 24th or 21st ranked Louisville Cardinals. And games coming up here in just a little bit. Number 15, Michigan State at home against UCLA. That game will tip off here in about 45 minutes. Number 24, Wisconsin, who entered the top 25 this week. They're in Columbus to take on Ohio State. That game also tips off here in about 45 minutes. Number 9, Nebraska in Iowa City to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. That game tips off a little over an hour. And number 13, Texas Tech has a late one tonight. They're out west in Tempe to take on Arizona State. That game tips off at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. But we have seen over the last week the previous number 1 team and other undefeated team up until last week, Arizona. They fell twice last week. They fell to number 4 this week. They're back in action tomorrow at home against number 23 BYU. BYU in Provo almost handed Arizona their first loss of the season a couple weeks back, but Arizona was able to pull that game out in Provo. So they've got the rematch game tomorrow in Tucson. Also in action tomorrow, the number 5 UConn Huskies and top 25 matchup in Tuscaloosa between Alabama and Arkansas. Number 8, Kansas on the road tomorrow at Oklahoma State. Number 14, Virginia, a conference game in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. Number 17, St. John's at Marquette. Boy, what a rough year Marquette's having this year. Number 19, Vanderbilt on the road at Missouri tomorrow. 10th ranked Illinois out west to take on USC. And Gonzaga, number 11 this week, is at San Francisco. And Christian Wood actually in the live chat brought up a good point. I actually forgot about that. North Carolina is without Caleb Wilson in this game. I had actually completely forgot about that. So yes, that's true. So that is playing into their struggles tonight in Raleigh for sure. So looking at some other sports news, let's take a look at the updated medal count in the Olympics. And still leading the way is Norway. They've got 31 medals. 14 of those 31 medals are gold for Norway. The host country, Italy, sitting second with 24 medals. United States sits third with 21 medals. 6 of those 21 are gold. Germany in fourth place with 20 medals, and Japan with 19 medals rounds out the top 5 on the medal results. Action resuming tomorrow out in Italy. United States men's ice hockey team takes on Sweden tomorrow. Other hockey matchups on the men's side tomorrow. Canada will take on Czechia. Germany and Slovakia, and Finland and Switzerland, the other matchup in men's hockey tomorrow. The other matchups in men's hockey tomorrow. One of my favorite events of the Winter Olympics is the speed skating, and we've got the short track speed skating relay final on the women's side tomorrow, and the men's 500 meter is tomorrow. 3 skiing gold medals to give out tomorrow. The women's 4x6 kilometer relay biathlon gold medal game is tomorrow, and a couple finals in men's and women's snowboarding. That is the schedule for the Olympic Games tomorrow as the Olympics continue for another 5 days out there in Italy. Been a very entertaining Olympic Games out there in Italy this year. So that is the update out there in Italy. A little bit of baseball news to pass on. This was actually, I saw this earlier and I had to kind of look at it, but Tony Clark, the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association, he resigned earlier today. There was an inappropriate relationship there with Tony Clark. I'm not going to get into all that. This is just what's been reported, so I'm not going to get into all that. But Tony Clark steps down today as the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. Major League Baseball, I believe, is in serious danger after this coming season of possibly we're going to have a labor stoppage, I fear, following this upcoming season in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of fans still, this been 30 plus years ago now, but there's still a lot of fans turned off from that strike back in 1994 that have still not come back to the game, and I don't know that baseball is going to be able to afford another stoppage. So hopefully they can get that figured out after this season. And some sad news from the sports world today. I remember him when he coached in the NBA. Former Nuggets coach in the NBA, Doug Moe. He passed away earlier today at the age of 87. So Doug Moe, we lost him earlier today at the age of 87. So let's look at some other sports news across the country there. And here at the half, the undefeated Redhawks of Miami of Ohio leading 41-36 over UMass. Let's run down the first half stats from this game here tonight. Redhawks shot 43%, 13 of 30 from the floor. 6 of 17 from three-point range at 35%. They were a perfect 9 of 9 at the free throw line. UMass in the first half, 45%. At 14 of 31. They were a very respectable 6 of 13 from three-point range at 46%. Just 2 of 5, though, at the free throw line for 40%. Rebound edge for the Minutemen, 20-14. UMass did turn it over 8 times in that first half. Miami turned it over 4. Scoring in that first half, leading the way for the Redhawks was Peter Suter. He had 10 points in the first half. 7 points off the bench for Trey Perry. 5 apiece from Brant Byers, Luke Skaljak, and Almar Atlason. 4 points out of Ian Elmer. 3 points off the bench from Justin Kirby. And 2 points out of Antoine Woolfolk. The scoring for Miami in the first half. Scoring for UMass in that first half, 13 points off the bench for Isaiah Placide on 4 3-pointers. Led the way in the first half. Leonardo Bettiol with 7. Daniel Hankins Sanford with 6. 5 points out of Marcus Banks Jr., 3 points out of Danny Carbuccia, and 2 points out of KJ Parker. Round out the scoring for UMass in the first half as we have a 41-36 ball game. Miami at the half, trying to stay undefeated on the season, moved to 26-0. Miami, following this game, will next be in action on Friday night as they are back at home at Millett Hall in Oxford. They will be taking on Bowling Green. That's a later tip time. They have 8:30 Eastern time on that tip on Friday for Miami and Bowling Green over there in Oxford. So that is what's next on the docket for the Redhawks. Just 2 more home games on the season for Miami of Ohio. They've got 5 games remaining total following this one. So Miami next in action on Friday. UMass will be in action again on Saturday. They will be at home once again to take on the Buffalo Bulls there in Amherst. So that is what's next on the docket for both of these teams. As we are just a couple minutes away here from the start of the second half. An update on that North Carolina NC State score. NC State's up 16 at the half. 42-26 over North Carolina. Again, North Carolina is without Caleb Wilson tonight, so that obviously is coming into play in that game. A couple scores here from the MAC. I failed to mention these. Mid-American Conference scores. Northern Illinois and Buffalo. Northern Illinois leading that game 58-54. That game has about 8.5 minutes remaining. 8:20 to be exact in the second half. So a tight one up there in upstate New York. Central Michigan and Eastern Michigan. Directional school battle. Eastern Michigan up 51-45 over Central Michigan in the second half. That game has about 9 minutes left in it. Teams are trying to get themselves positioned for the Mid-American Conference Tournament. It's about 3 weeks away. We are getting pretty close to conference tournament time. Kent State at the half leading Bowling Green 30-25. Ball State held to 15 points in the first half. They're getting throttled in Athens, Ohio against Ohio. Ohio up 32-15. That game at the half. And the second place team in the MAC, Akron, having no problems on the road tonight in Kalamazoo against Western Michigan. 53-34, the halftime score there. Akron enters the night a game behind the Redhawks. How much longer till this halftime is over? I know I'm kind of rambling here because I'm trying just to fill time. Actually, the players are breaking from their benches now here in the second half. Looks like both teams are going with their original starting 5 here to start the second half. It will be UMass ball to inbound to start the second half. So here we go. 20 minutes to see if the Redhawks can stay undefeated. And UMass inbounds to begin the second half. Carbuccia with it. Now here's Banks on the outside. Bounce pass inside to Bettiol. Bettiol looking to drive. Gets double teamed. And a nice bounce pass inside, but UMass will turn it over. A little bit careless passing there underneath, and UMass turns it over to begin the second half. First possession, second half for the Redhawks. Suter with it on the outside. Suter gets loose. Now will drive inside, kick it back out, and the Redhawks will reset. Here's Byers off to Woolfolk. Nice pass inside, and Byers is fouled driving to the basket, and he will be at the line to shoot 2. That's foul number 3 on Danny Carbusha. So 2 shots here for Byers. First of 2 up and good. One more for Byers, and he misses. That's Miami's first miss from the line after hitting their first 10. 42-36. Nearly a minute old, second half. Carbusha still in the game with 3 fouls. He's got the ball on the outside. And UMass will set it up here, and Jigway with it. Passes to Carbusha. Carbusha drives inside, gets cut off. Now looking for some help. Kicks it back outside to Njigwe. And Njigwe with the turn inside. Shot a little too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Redhawks. Skaljak driving. Skaljak guarded by Njigwe. And Skaljak gets loose for the easy layup underneath. And it's 44-36. Skaljak now with 7 points. Njigwe with it. Pass goes inside. Betiol kicks it outside. Carbusha for 3, and it's good. Danny Carbusha hits a 3-pointer to get UMass on the board in the second half. The lead back to 5 again, 44-39. Second 3-pointer tonight for Carbusha. Elmer looking for some help and is able to get it to Skaljak. Skaljak on the drive. Skaljak gets in the paint. The turnaround jumper is good. Got the friendly roll. Luke Skaljak now with 9. 46-39. Carbusha. Hankins Sanford. And we are going to have a foul, it appears, on Miami. Foul is on Antoine Woolfolk. That'll be his 3rd. First foul on the Redhawks here in the second half. Carbusha with it on the outside. Gets it to Banks. Back out to Carbusha on the top of the key. Carbusha will launch the 3-pointer and on target. Third 3 for Carbusha. He's got 9. 46-42. Miami's lead down to 4. Skaljak with it for the Redhawks. Bounce pass inside. Finds Atlason, but the shot was altered, and then 2 UMass players were fighting for the ball, and it ends up going out of bounds. Well, that's a rough break. You're fighting with your own teammate for the rebound, and you end up knocking it out of bounds. That's a tough break, but you still have to like the hustle right there. Skaljak to inbound under the basket for Miami. Skaljak off the inbound. Shot is blocked underneath, and back comes UMass. Carbusha, who's had the hot hand so far with 2 threes here in the second half, he's got it now. Now Betiol. Betiol given instructions. He draws a double team. Betiol gets it over. Here's Carbusha, another open 3. That's off the mark this time. Rebound pulled down by Miami. Redhawks dodge a bullet right there. Lead is still 4. 3.5 old second half. Bounce pass inside. Nice move inside, and Atlason will lay it in. Atlason now has 7 off the bench. Miami's lead back to 6, 48-42. Carbusha dribbling on the UMass logo. And now the drive inside. Reverse layup up and good by Dwayne Wembley. That's his first 2 points. And the lead is back to 4 again. 4 minutes old, second half. And Miami in a little bit of trouble here on the trap, and they're going to have to take a timeout. Scoutjack got trapped in the corner, didn't have anywhere to go, and the Redhawks have to take a timeout. 15:57 to go, 48-44. Redhawks leading the Minutemen. So Miami uses their first timeout here in the second half. UMass has had a pretty good defensive effort in this game so far. Made a good defensive play right there to force the Redhawks into taking a timeout. Number 21, Louisville's taking the lead at SMU in the second half. Still plenty of time to go in that game. Miami at 46% shooting for the game. UMass is at 47%. UMass hanging around here at 48-44. It'll be Miami ball out of the timeout. Jeffrey Cardozo, Miami's first loss tonight. It's very possible. UMass has been hanging around on Miami got off that quick start, but other than that, UMass has been hanging around all night. Shot off the inbound is no good, and the rebound pulled down by UMass. Carbusha. Now Betiol with it. Finds Carbusha again on the outside. And the move inside, count it, and a foul. Betiol with an and one opportunity, and he has a chance to cut this to a 1-point game. And that will now bring us to the under 16 timeout. 48-46. Lead down to 2, and it could be 1 with the free throw following the timeout. After that earlier season meeting in Oxford that was only a 2-point win for Miami, I knew this was going to be a tough game for them tonight. Of course, as I said earlier, when you're the last undefeated team in the country, that bullseye on your back is super big. Rad review, yeah. UMass is winning the field goal percentage and the rebound battle tonight. Rizzy Vivid, to answer your question, I have no rooting. And of course, I mean, I like to see another undefeated run. I really would. But, I mean, realistically, even if Miami of Ohio runs the table in the regular season, realistically, more than likely, they're not going to go undefeated and win the NCAA. So I'm not really rooting for either team. I just like to see, when I do these, I just like to see nice competitive games, and that's definitely what we have here tonight. Yeah, answer on the live chat. It is a 49-44 field goal percentage advantage for UMass and a 23-17 edge on the glass. Thank you for the question, though. Very good question. Leonardo Bettiol will be at the line to try to complete a three-point play and become the second UMass player in double figures. So UMass's first season in the MAC, they've been covering right around 500 entire conference play. They were, of course, in the A10 for years before making the move over to the MAC this season. So Bettiol at the line here to try to complete the three-point play and make this a one-point game. And he does. Bettiol has 10. This is a one-point game, 4.5 minutes old in the second half. Elmer finds Suter. Crowd coming to life at the Mullins Center. Suter, cross-court pass. And here's a three-pointer on the way, and good. Byers with a three. A big three for Miami, and it's 51-47. Here's KJ Parker on the outside. Finds Banks. Banks looking for some help, now looking to drive. Banks with a bounce pass inside. Bettiol draws a double team, no good. The tip is tipped in, but it's not going to count as there's going to be a foul on the Redhawks. This will be their third foul of the second half. I believe they got Almar Atlason for his second. So 2 free throws here for Bettiol. First is short. Another free throw coming. Got that one. So Bettiol goes 1 of 2, and the lead is 3, 51-48. Here come the Redhawks. Suter. And the drive inside off the glass too hard. And that's going to be a foul on... Oh, it's on UMass. They're going to get, I believe, KJ Parker on the foul. Crowd none too pleased with that call. Yeah, they showed the replay. I don't know about that one. Off the inbound, a corner three is drilled by Peter Suter. And that makes it a 6-point game again. Rad Reviews, yeah, I know. I've got my ESPN app has a delay, so I know the score updates well in advance before I get the play. I wish there was something I could do about that, but I don't think that there is. Shot no good, and back the other way comes Miami. The spin move inside, and the shot is up and good for Scaljak. And just like that, the Miami lead is back to 8. Timeout UMass with 13:59 to go. Redhawks a quick 5 to go back up 8, 56-48, with 13:59 to go. Again, Miami of Ohio enters the night with a 1-game lead over Akron in the MAC. Akron well out in front of Western Michigan tonight. So Akron appears, at the very least, is going to stay a game behind Miami of Ohio. Those two teams only meet one time in the regular season, and they have already met, with Miami winning. So if they meet again, it would be in the MAC tournament. Following the timeout, UMass has it. And we have a foul on Miami. Looks like they got Peter Suter on the foul. It's his second. It'll be a UMass inbound. Banks with it. Over to Carbusha. Bettiol over to Banks. Bounce pass inside to Bettiol. Off the glass and a foul. Suter none too happy with that call. I think Suter just got his third foul. He did. And Bettiol will head to the line. Chance to bring UMass within 6. First of 2 up and good. Suter's going to have to come out with the 3 personals. Leading the way in scoring tonight for the Redhawks with 13. Second free throw, no good, and we are going to have a foul on the rebound on UMass. They're going to get Njigwe with his third. So Njigwe joins Carbusha with 3 fouls for UMass. Redhawks inbound. UMass applying a little bit of press here, but Miami breaks it. Skaljak over to Elmer. Outside to Skaljak. Thought about the 3. Now will drive inside and kick it back outside now. Byers had to go through his legs, but regroups, comes inside, missed the layup. Rebound pulled down by UMass. Carbusha on the drive. Carbusha, the runner, and the floater is good. Carbusha now with 11. Becomes the third UMass player in double figures, 56-51. Elmer. Bounce pass over to Skaljak. He will kick it back outside to Atlason. Tough angle here, and the outside, and we've got a bump foul on UMass. If that's on Njigwe, which it is, that's 4. So Njigwe picks up foul number 4. He's going to have to go to the bench here. So Miami to inbound from under the basket. 12.5 left. 3-pointer on the way around the rim and off. Rebound pulled down by Bettiol of UMass. Carbusha with it now. Back out to Bettiol. Bettiol hands off to Carbusha. Carbusha, nice feed inside to Bettiol for the finish. And it's 56-53. Back to a 1-possession game. Byers open 3. No. Tipped out to UMass. They can cut it to 1 or tie it with a 3. Karbusha drives. Karbusha's layup is blocked, but there's also a foul. Karbusha will head to the line as we hit the under 12 with 11:55 to go. A tight one in Amherst, 56-53. Undefeated Redhawks clinging to a 3-point lead. Could this be the night that the final undefeated goes down? UMass is up to 50% shooting. So they're continuing to outshoot Miami tonight, 50% to 44%. Update on those top 25 games. Florida starting to pull away from South Carolina, 55-39. About 12 minutes to go in that game. Purdue's attempting a little mini run here against Michigan, but they still trail by 11, 79-68 with 2.5 minutes left. So UMass will be at the line here following the timeout. Chris Kugley jumping into the live chat. Miami fan. Well, they're in a battle tonight. So 2 free throws coming. First is up and good by Karbusha. And UMass will also be shooting free throws for each Miami foul here on out. Second is good. This is a 1-point game. Second time UMass has gotten it down to 1. They have never led tonight. Elmer outside to Byers. Here's Woolfolk now on the outside. Woolfolk hands it off. And the jumper from just beyond the foul line. That's short. Rebound UMass. A chance for their first lead tonight. Karbusha. Bounce pass. Almost turned over. Now it is. Miami with a steal. Layup. Good. And 1. Suter with a basket and an and 1 for Miami. Suter now with 15. They brought him back in the timeout there with 3 fouls. That foul is on Marcus Banks. Suter trying to complete the 3-point play. And he got it. 59-55. Bettiol drives. Bettiol puts it up with the right hand and scores. 59-57. Trey Perry with it. Now on the outside is Byers. Bounce pass to Woolfolk. Woolfolk drives inside, spins, and gets fouled. I think they got Bettiol on the foul. And Woolfolk will head to the line for 2. 10:41 to go. First free throw, no good. I want to point out, because I noticed there's some new viewers that have tuned in, I want to point something out here. The live score that I keep up is a little ahead of where I'm at on the call. I've got on the delay on the ESPN app. Unfortunately, there's nothing really I can do about that. So if the scores are a little off from what I say, that's why. 60-57 on 1 of 2. Has 10.5 to go. Betiol finds Karbusha. Karbusha in the corner 3 for the tie, and it's good. And this game is tied on a 3 from Marcus Banks. First time we've been tied since tip-off. Woolfolk pass deflected and stolen. UMass looks for the lead. Karbusha three-pointer, no. And out of bounds, whose ball? Looks like Miami ball. With just under 10 minutes to go. Scaljak will bring it across the midcourt stripe for Miami. Over to Elmer. And that's going to be a foul. I saw a push, I think. Yeah, that's going to be on UMass. So both teams now in the penalties. So both teams will be at the line for the rest of this game. Betiol called for his third foul. Woolfolk at the line. First of the 1-and-1. Did he just airball that free throw? He just absolutely airmailed that free throw. Ouch. So UMass another chance to take the lead. Placide. Now Karbusha. Karbusha on the drive. Bounce pass underneath for the lead. Placide lays it in. 62-60 UMass. Scaljak with it. Off to Woolfolk. Woolfolk has it knocked out of bounds. It will stay. No, they're going to get a foul. Oh. A late call. They get a foul on UMass. And this will be free throws for Miami. First free throw good. This next one for the tie. Missed the second. Ball's loose, out of bounds, UMass ball. The UMass student section is alive, electric, and loud. Here comes Karbusha across the midcourt stripe. 9 minutes to play. Karbusha outside to Banks. Banks back to Karbusha. Karbusha on the drive. Pull up jumper long. Rebound Miami. Redhawks a chance to retake the lead. And the pass knocked out of bounds by UMass. It will stay Miami ball. Scoutjack off the inbound. Atlason tries a three. Good. Almar Atlason puts Miami back in front. He's got 10. 64-62. On the drive, Banks missed it, but he draws the foul, and he will head to the line. Yeah, Chris, it was 86-84 last time. I'm actually with 8:19 to go. Unless it goes overtime, I'm not sure we're going to get to 86-84 tonight. Excuse me. Believe they got Byers on the foul, it looks like. Free throw, no good. UMass has not helped themselves at the line tonight. They are now just 7 of 13 at the free throw line. Second for Banks is good. 64-63. Bringing it up across the midcourt stripe is Scoutjack as we near the 8-minute mark. Pass goes inside to Atlason. Atlason spins inside, puts it up with the right hand. Got it and one. Almar Atlason with a chance for a three-point play. Luka Damjanic picks up his third foul. So UMass has some foul issues here. And Jigway has 4. Betiol, Carbucha, Damjanic, and Parker all have 3. And the three-point play is completed. 67-63, under 8 to play. Carbucha walking it up the floor for UMass. Over to Banks. Banks on the outside. Bounce pass to Betiol inside. Over to Banks. Banks left hand no. Gets his own miss and follows it up and scores. 67-65. At the other end, and a foul underneath the basket on UMass. And we hit the under 8. That's foul number 4 on Leonardo Betiol. 7:34 remaining. 67-65. Redhawks by 2. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Still an 8 rebound edge in the game for UMass. UMass has put 4 in double figures tonight. Redhawks have put 3 in double figures. Both teams getting a lot of balance tonight. Oh, don't tell me I just lost my feed. Don't tell me I just lost my... Okay, there we go. So here we go with 7:34 to go. Redhawks will be at the line. Under 90, Miami of Ohio. Under 87, UMass. That's looking pretty good right now. Elmer at the line. First is up and no good. Second free throw is good. Elmer hits one of two. 68-65. Karbusha brings it up the floor. Karbusha off to Banks. Banks on the outside, guarded by Suter. Off to Hank and Sanford. Karbusha now on the drive. Shot clock down to 7. Placide, who had the hot hand in the first half, they're going to have to launch a long one here. Banked in at the shot clock buzzer by Placide. And we're tied at 68. Wow. And the Redhawks, that's going to be an offensive foul on Miami. Placide, I tell you, he just threw that thing up there with the shot clock expiring, and he banked it in. That's how you know it might be your night. If you're making shots like that. UMass a chance for the lead back. Karbusha. He'll put it inside to Bettiol. Bettiol draws a double team, almost walked with it. Jumper up long. Rebound to Suter of Miami. Suter on the drive, has it knocked away, but right there to retrieve it is Atlason. And now Skaljak on the outside. Skaljak on the drive, kicks it out, open three, good in front of the Miami bench. Ian Elmer with the three, and the Redhawks are back in front. 71-68. And a turnover. Byers comes in and steals the pass. And now Skaljak slowing it down and backing it out. Skaljak, nice bounce pass inside, and the layup is good. And that's 5 straight for Miami. 73-68. Karbusha, bounce pass inside, and the layup for Hank and Sanford. Good answer for UMass. 73-70. As we near 5 minutes to play. Bounce pass inside to Skaljak. Skaljak on the drive. Skaljak, the reverse, counted and one. Skaljak now in double. He's got 13 now. And a chance for a three-point play. I beg your pardon. He's got 11. .459 left. Free throw is good. The Redhawks lead by 6. Here comes UMass up the floor. Placide. Bounce pass inside. Bettiol puts it in with the right hand. 76-72. 18 on the night for Bettiol. Skaljak at the other end for the Redhawks. Spins inside, gets double teamed, and is able to get it back out. And what do we have here? Going to have a foul on UMass. The crowd can't believe that call. And 2 free throws coming. Double bonus in effect. Wiping up a little bit of condensation here before Scout Jack heads to the line. 4:27 remaining. Looks like we may have some blood on Daniel Hankins Sanford, so they're going to have to get that cleaned up on the UMass bench. And put the bandage on, and we're all set to go. So here we go. First of 2 free throws is good. Dustin 3290 UMass. Yeah, UMass has definitely has some foul issues here they're going to have to contend with in these last 4.5 minutes. Second free throw is good. 2 big free throws there to extend the lead to 6 for Miami, 78-72. Carbusha outside to Placide. Banks. Carbusha looking for help, gets it inside to Placide. Placide on the drive, gets fouled, can't get the shot to go. Peter Suter will pick up the foul. That will be number 4 on Suter, so Miami's got some foul issues themselves. Placide heading to the line. First free throw, no good. If UMass ends up going down in this game, they can point to that free throw line. One more free throw coming. UMass just 8 of 15 at the line tonight. Placide does hit the second, 78-73. Dwayne Wembley checks back in for UMass. Scout Jack will bring it up across the timeline for the Redhawks as we hit 4 minutes to play. Scout Jack, almost a turnover. Miami able to keep possession. Bounce pass, nice feed inside, and the shot is blocked. Knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Redhawks as we hit our final media timeout with 3:51 to play. 78-73. Redhawks looking to hang on and move to 26-0 on the season. So for the second time this year between these two teams, we are headed down to the wire. Now a final from West Lafayette in that top 7 matchup between Michigan and Purdue, and top-ranked Michigan 91-80. So Michigan's first game as a number 1 team, they get the victory in West Lafayette over Purdue. Again, both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Peter Suter leading the way tonight for the Redhawks with 21. Isaiah Placide off the bench with 19 points for UMass tonight. – He came into this game only averaging 3 points a game. Oh, beating out of my chest. Yeah, this is definitely nail-biting time if you're a fan of either one of these two teams, or even if you're not a fan of one of these two teams. So here we go. Redhawks inbound out of the timeout. Around. The shot up and foul. And Elmer will be going to the line to shoot 2. Chance to push the lead to 7 with 3:46 to go. First free throw, good. One more coming for Elmer. This would push it to a 7-point lead. Got it. Lead is 7 for the Redhawks. Carbuccia brings it across the midcourt stripe. Hankins Sanford now to Bettiol. Back outside to Carbuccia. UMass needing a bucket this trip. This is Banks. Back outside to Carbuccia. 10 to shoot. Bounce pass to Bettiol inside the paint. Now will drive inside against Woolfolk. Lost it momentarily. Gets it back. Missed it off the back rim. And the rebound pulled down by Elmer of Miami. Looks like the legs are gassed on both these teams. 3 to go. And now a double team inside looking for some help, and a foul is called on a great feed. And Suter will head back to the free throw line, and that had just fouled out Leonardo Bettiol. So Bettiol fouls out with 18 points tonight. 1 rebound shy of a double-double. That could be a big foul out right there for UMass. First free throw up and good. One more coming. Got it. And Miami has pushed the lead to 9 with 2:58 to go. UMass needs a basket desperately this trip. And Jigwe, who's in with 4 fouls, gives it off to Carbuccia. Carbuccia on the drive. Shot is blocked. UMass able to save it, and a 3-pointer around and out. That was halfway down and came out. Miami knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with UMass. Boy, that thing was halfway down and came back out. Banks to inbound for UMass. Gets it in to Carbuccia. Now Banks on the outside. Carbuccia at the top of the key. Passed up the 3. Now will drive inside and lay it in. Carbuccia now with 15, 82-75. Skaljack with it. Whoa, dangerous pass. Almost a turnover, but Byers saves it. Skaljak with it at the top of the key. Now looking to drive inside over a double team and somehow puts it in. Luke Skaljak makes it 84-75, under 2 to go. UMass pretty much in must score every trip now at this point. Karbusha. Now Placide. Placide spins, gets it back out, and a turnover. UMass turns it over for the 12th time, but a very inopportune time for one this time. Skaljak slows it up. Miami going to use clock this trip. And that's going to be a reach-in foul on Banks. That'll be his third, and Miami heading to the free throw line with 1:20 to go, trying to push this lead back to double digits. So Miami saw UMass take a 2-point lead in this game, but the Redhawks, as they've done all season long, did not get rattled. And the first free throw, no good. Second rattles in for Skaljak. 85-75. Karbusha bounce pass, and there's another turnover. Back-to-back turnovers for UMass down the stretch. And a reach-in foul with 1:06 to play. And it appears the Redhawks are going to find a way to get it done again and stay undefeated. As the crowd starts to head for the exits. Free throw, no good. Boy, this was a lively crowd for a lot of this game tonight. Second free throw is no good either, so the lead stays 10. Final 60 seconds. Karbusha on the outside. Well, UMass taking a lot of time here. You don't have time for this. You're going to have to put some shots up. Karbusha inside jumper up and good from Njigwe. And timeout called by UMass. 85-77. 48.8 on the clock. Oh, you're well. Appreciate you tuning in there. Appreciate each and every single one of you that tuned in tonight, and especially all of you that jumped in on the live chat. It's been a fun one once again tonight. I will be back with some more college basketball live streams later on this week. Not quite sure what exactly the schedule is going to be yet. I will try to keep an update on my page to keep you updated. But I will be back later on this week. $85-77 Redhawks, 48.8 remaining. And UMass, I would assume, is going to try to apply some kind of pressure here on this inbounds pass. And a double team, Miami able to break it very easily. Elmer gets across the midcourt stripe and is immediately fouled. Everybody in the live chat, thanks. I wish I could show the actual game, but there's copyright restrictions and all that, and I'm still fairly new at the streaming thing, and I don't want to take that chance. Ugh. First free throw is no good. Boy, Miami's not helping themselves at the line here down the stretch. Second one is good. 86-77. 40 seconds to play. Karbusha. Bounce pass inside. Turnaround jumper's too strong. Rebound Atlason. And it looks like UMass is not going to foul anymore. Redhawks just dribbling this one out. Shot clock and game clock are virtually identical. And the Miami Redhawks find a way once again. There's going to be a shot clock violation here with about 0.8 of a second or so. Shot clock violation, and we will have one more inbound. And the inbound, and that will do it. The Redhawks 26-0. They move to 13-0 in the MAC as they pull this one out. 86-77, the final score. Miami to 13-0 in the MAC. They stay a game ahead of Akron in the Mid-American Conference. Those two teams are on a collision course to meet in the MAC championship game. Akron wins tonight over Western Michigan 90-73. 26-0 Redhawks, 13-0 in conference play. UMass falls to 15-12 overall, 6-8 in the Mid-American Conference. So Miami's pursuit for perfection continues on Friday as they will be back at home hosting Bowling Green. As long as Miami of Ohio stays undefeated, I'm going to have them on the live stream. So if nothing else, I will definitely be back Friday night for Miami of Ohio and Bowling Green. That is a later tip time out there in Oxford. That is an 8:30 Eastern time tip coming up on Friday between the Redhawks and the Falcons. Run down the final stats from this one. A fun one tonight. Miami ends up 50% from the floor, 26 of 52. 10 of 23 from beyond the arc at 43%. Struggled a little bit down the stretch at the free throw line. End up 24 of 33 for 73%. UMass ends up shooting 51%, 29 of 57. UMass shot it decently the whole game. 10 of 20 from three-point range at 50%. And 9 of 16 at the free throw line for 56%. What is that, Mephisto, Iowa? When is Iowa's? Iowa in action next on Sunday. I'll see what I can do on that for that Iowa-Wisconsin game. If there's any way for me to cover that one for you, Mephisto, I'll try to do that. Iowa's playing right now. Iowa and Nebraska. Well, if I cover an Iowa game, it's going to have to be Sunday. I haven't done any pre on that or anything yet, so I'm not going to be able to do that one tonight, unfortunately, but I will try my best to get that Iowa-Wisconsin game on Sunday on. I will make that guarantee to you. 33, back to the stats here, 33-26 rebound edge for UMass. 13 turnovers tonight for UMass, just 6 for Miami. Individual scoring tonight. I've got something I got to take care of tonight anyway after I sign off, so I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But 4 in double figures tonight for the Redhawks, led by Peter Suiters, 23, 16 out of Luke Skaljak, 13 off the bench for Almar Atlason, and 11 out of Ian Elmer. Miami's leading scorer on the season, Brant Byers, held to 9 points tonight. 7 points off the bench for Trey Perry, 4 out of Antoine Woolfolk, and 3 out of Justin Kirby. 4 in double figures for UMass, led by Isaiah Placides, 19 off the bench, 18 out of Leonardo Bettiol before he fouled out, 15 out of Danny Karbusha, and 11 out of Marcus Banks Jr. 8 points out of Daniel Hankins Sanford, and 2 apiece from Jaden and Jigway, Dwayne Wembley Jr., and KJ Parker. As Miami wins it 86-77, they stay unbeaten, now 26-0. Very game UMass team for the second time this year against Miami of Ohio, but ball short both times as they fall to 15-12 and 6-8 in the MAC. Before I close out for the night, let's take one more look at the top 25 scoreboard. We've got a top 20 team in deep trouble. We'll tell you about that in just a minute. Number 1, Michigan wins at Purdue tonight, 91-80. Number 9, Nebraska and Iowa just about to tip off in Iowa City. That's what one of my live chat buddies at the game wanted me to do that game, but I didn't do any prep for that game. Plus, I got something I got to take care of tonight, so I'm not going to be able to do Iowa, but I'm going to try to do the Iowa game for you on Sunday, Menfisto. Other scores tonight, number 12, Florida picks up a win over South Carolina, 76-62. Number 13, Texas Tech at Arizona State. That game tips off in a couple hours. Number 16, North Carolina is about to go down. They're getting trounced by NC State, 82-58. That game has under a minute left. Number 15, Michigan State off to a 30-12 lead over UCLA. The top 25 team that is in deep trouble is number 18, St. Louis, 43 seconds left. St. Louis trails at Rhode Island 77-74, so that 17-game winning streak for the Billikens is in some serious jeopardy. Number 21, Louisville goes down tonight at SMU 95-85. Number 24, Wisconsin trailing Ohio State 24-13. In the first half to the rest of the top 25 scoreboard. Well, that's going to wrap it up tonight. This was a fun one tonight. Redhawks stay undefeated, 86-77, the final over UMass. My name is John, Sports Bonanza John on YouTube is my page. If you like my content, really would appreciate a like and subscribe. That would really help out a lot. I appreciate each and every single one of you that tuned in tonight and chimed in on the live chat. You're very much appreciated, more than you know, and I appreciate it. Also on Kick tonight at Sports Kick John, you can follow me there. You can also follow me on Twitch. I have some content on there as well, Sport Guru John. I'll be posting some more content on there here coming up in the near future. Again, have more college basketball live streams coming up for you this week. If nothing else, I will definitely be back Friday night for the next Miami of Ohio matchup, as long as they stay undefeated, I'm going to have them here on the live stream throughout. Miami of Ohio and Bowling Green on Friday. We'll try to be on either tomorrow or Thursday before that for another college game. I'll keep you updated. I appreciate that, Oswaldo. This was a fun one. 86-77, the final. Miami wins it. Going to sign off right here and be back with you hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, but if not, for sure Friday night for Miami of Ohio and Bowling Green. Thanks a bunch, everybody. You're very much appreciated. Have a good